Welcome back to Legal Matters. I'm your host, Alan Jones, and with me now is Mark Brynteson, the managing attorney for the American law firm. This is a half-hour informational news call-in show devoted to a variety of legal topics. We have attorneys standing by right now to take your call at the number on your screen. That's 815-394-1776. They'll be able to provide you with free information on your issue. The call is confidential, so pick up the phone now and call the American law firm throughout the next hour. Again, that phone number is 815-394-1776. Now, our opening statement will be discussing what to do immediately after an accident. Then after a short break, we'll discuss how to secure the best criminal representation for your case. But first, let me remind you of the multiple practice areas in which the American law firm concentrates. The American law firm can assist you in a variety of legal matters, such as divorce and family law, bankruptcy, personal injury claims, criminal, traffic, and DUI issues, wills, trust, and probate matters, real estate and business transactions, and much more. So again, please feel free to call and discuss any of these practice areas with the attorney standing by. The number again, 815-394-1776. Lawyers are standing by now to take your call. Again, the call is confidential. And Mark, welcome to the show and thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
Let's get right to it. We're talking about things to do right after an accident. Your mind is not right. You've got to be thinking about a lot of different things. But what's the number one thing you have to do following an accident?
Well, first and foremost, see if anybody's hurt. Check the people in your car. If it's a slip and fall in an accident, find out if they're hurt, because a lot of times people don't check that and somebody's really hurt. Somebody's is unconscious, they've hit their head and they have a bleed in the brain and they only have minutes to get to the emergency room and get fixed. So make sure you check and make sure everybody's all right, see if they need anything. After that, if people are all right, you've attended to that, next thing you should do is find out or talk to the other driver and make sure that you call the police to the accident scene, or if it's a slip and fall like in a grocery store or just some premises, make sure you get the premises owner, if it's a business, the manager, and have an incident report filled out. I can't tell you how many times that the insurance companies take advantage of not calling the police. The driver of the other vehicle, oh, let's not get the police involved. They rear-ended you or they ran a stop sign, and then you don't call the police, and you start talking to the adjuster, and the adjuster says, well, our insured said that you ran the red light, and no, that's not what happened. And then all the witnesses that saw it go back into the woodwork. You can't find them, and you may have blown your claim because you didn't call the police or file an incident report.
So the police report is important, maybe not the most important thing, but it is important, even if an accident is not that severe?
Oh, absolutely, because the insurance company will try to wiggle out of liability any way they can. And it's not, I have had, at the end result, when our investigators go out, the person that was driving the other car and is at fault has admitted they've been coached by the adjuster to change their story because there are no witnesses. So yes, it's very important. And where does that go? Let's say your car is really damaged pretty bad. Let's say there's no injuries, but your car is damaged really bad and your insurance policy doesn't have property coverage on it. What do? You got a damaged car and you probably owe money on it and you can't get it fixed because they're saying we're not liable because you can't prove it anymore.
Okay. So where does something like that go from that point?
Well, from that point then, when the police get there, make sure you tell them the truth, tell them everything that happened, get people to the appropriate health care providers that they need to. If ambulance needs to come, the police will certainly help you get the ambulance there. And then what you want to do is start recording everything. I've written a packet that you can keep in your glove compartment. If an accident happens, if you pull that out, it'll take you step by step by step what you need to do, and there's actually things in there that you can fill out, diagrams that you can record what happened and show where the resting points of the vehicles, or comments other people made, names of witnesses. And if you call up the firm, we'll be glad to give you one of those also. But to have something like that in the car that'll walk you through what you need to do is really, really important. But it's a nice brochure. It's about 6-7 pages, and it walks you through everything that needs to be done.
And document everything.
And document everything. And the thing is, people always come back and say, well, it's the attorney, they're looking for a lawsuit. No, we're trying to preserve your right, because the other side, if there's a way that they can lie their way out of it, it's like in criminal cases, everybody has the legal and constitutional right to lie their way out of it. Well, that's the same thing in a personal injury action.
That's probably new to a lot of people.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I'm sure they don't realize they have that right.
They have that right, yes, but they do.
All right.
And the criminals know it.
And everyone knows that, okay. Well, there's some good information there, so contact the American Law Firm.
American Law Firm, and we'd be glad to send you a brochure that you can stick in your glove compartment. I hope you never need it, but if you do, it's there.
It's good information nonetheless. All right, Mark, thanks. We'll take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be discussing criminal representation. You're watching Legal Matters with the American Law Firm. And welcome back. I'm your host, Alan Jones. With me is attorney Mark Brynteson with the American Law Firm. And you're watching Legal Matters, an informational and news call-in show devoted to a variety of legal topics. Attorneys are standing by now to take your call at the number on your screen, 815-394-1776. They'll provide you with free information on your issue. The call is confidential, so pick up the phone now and call the American Law Firm throughout the next hour. Again, the phone number is 815-394-1776. Okay, Mark, let's switch gears a little bit now to criminal law, although it's maybe not be switching that far, to be honest, from accidents to criminal law. In terms of criminal representation, a significant portion of your practice, is there anything that you don't cover?
Well, we represent from, if it's a misdemeanor, traffic offense, speeding, misdemeanor criminal, felony. We have a former state's attorney that works for us that used to put people in jail, but he knows how to defend the cases, and he's very good at it. And criminal law, really my opinion on the criminal law or law in general is there's so many laws out there today. You and I probably, when we drove out to the station, probably broke 3 or 4 of them and didn't even know it. We could go to jail for 6 years.
I hope not.
I hope not either, but I know that that's reaching, and that's parroting, like my comment in the last section about you have a constitutional right to lie your way out of it. But the thing is, we've become a nation of so many laws, especially on the criminal and punitive side, that you can do things that you don't know were wrong, like maybe dig a hole on your property and it's a little too deep or something like that, and you may have committed a crime. And it's getting to the point where you really have to watch it, where innocent people get in trouble. And to know that there's a good attorney that can represent you and help you through that time is important.
Mm-hmm. So when you go and talk to a criminal attorney, what are the characteristics that someone needs to watch for? What makes a good, solid criminal attorney for you?
Well, we've talked about that before on this program, and it's really no different than if it's a corporate matter, real estate, personal injury. Find out how long the attorney's been practicing. How long have they been practicing in that area of law? Ask them how many cases in a criminal case. Ask them how many times are you in court per week. If it's a criminal or traffic attorney that defends people in traffic offenses or criminal, you want to hear they're in there pretty much every day, because that type of law lends itself to being in court pretty much every day. Then how many trials are they actually trying? Being in court, it's usually procedural things in front of the judge getting ready for trial or trying to resolve cases. But ask them how many trials are they trying per year, per week? How many have they tried in their career? Have they tried big jury trials? Maybe it's if you're in a murder or a burglary or something like that. Have they tried jury trials to conclusions successfully for people they've represented? So you want to know they know how to do things and they have a good track record. There's a lot of people, I don't care, not only law, in many areas of business or endeavor, that they do the work of that business, but do they really produce results? And it's no different than an attorney. You want to hear that that attorney has produced results in the area of law that he has practiced, and just not results, but results that are favorable to the client.
Mm-hmm. I would think that for someone coming in, especially with criminal charges pending or something along that line, one, they're dealing with their emotional state and the possible intimidation of talking to a criminal lawyer.
Well,
I mean, that's got to be difficult.
Yeah, it is, and I'll go one further on that. We've had people come in, when you talk to them, you know they're not guilty. When you're talking to them, you know they didn't do this thing. But for whatever reason, and you see it more and more with the police and the state's attorneys, they're quick, they become hair trigger. Instead of, they don't look at what's going on, they start to assume. It's like doctors and medical malpractice actions. When they start to see a gazillion patients, they start to go off, well, it's my sense it is, instead of doing the test to find out. Well, it's the same thing in the public sector. They're so overworked, they have so many files, they're trying to push them all the time that you get that's why you have a lot more innocent people in jail, and it's been proven by statistics and research, a lot more innocent people sitting in jail nowadays than you used to, and it's because the process is not being honored and you have overworked public servants that just process and work the file through to get it off the desk. And they miss, a lot of times, they'll miss, hey, this person didn't do it. This person really wasn't the culprit here, but yet get the file off the desk. And the thing that's disappointing to me is you've seen a lot of cases where people have spent 20, 30 years in jail and then a DNA test says they didn't do it, and that's occurring more and more and more and more. The problem is when the civil authorities, when the state's attorney, when I was in Virginia, it was a Commonwealth attorney, when you show them this guy didn't do it, they don't want to admit it. It's no different. They're no different than a private person. They just took a job in the private sector or public sector, but the stresses and strains are still the same. They don't want to admit, I messed up. And you know, the willingness to let somebody they know is innocent sit in jail today, and it's not all of them, it's just a few. It's like any, you've got a few bad apples in but they're willing to do it. And you even see that in the federal level, and it's really, it's significant, it's serious. And to have an attorney that's willing to go to bat for you, that's important.
So the important thing is just ask important questions.
Absolutely. And one of the reasons that you really need to press on that is, remember the Duke lacrosse player case where a stripper came to a party and accused everybody of raping her there, and it came out that didn't happen. But the state's attorney down in North Carolina was very willing to go after innocent people. And it's not all the time. That's just an example of one of the few bad apples. But when that happens, just realize that can happen. Good people get caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they've had nothing to do with the event. So you want an attorney that's going to fight for you and make sure that every rock is turned over to your benefit. All
right, Mark, thanks for your insight. We'll be right back after we take a break. Just a moment.